So we've got Chase Ultimate Rewards points, American Express Membership Rewards points, Marriott Bonvoy points, Hilton Honors points, American Airlines Advantage miles, and United Mileage Plus miles. And at the end of the day, you're probably wondering, what are all these points and miles worth? And today's video is going to clear all of that up for you. Hey everyone, it's Mark. I'm here to help you put more money in your pocket through credit cards and smart financial habits. If that sounds good to you, then do me a quick favor and click on the like and subscribe button down below. Also check out the links down below in the description area to view some great credit card offers, to get some additional cash back when you shop online through Rakuten, and to sign up for MAXREWARDS, which is a fantastic app to manage all of your credit cards and rewards in one place. It also allows you to track your purchases across all cards and helps you identify which card to use to earn the most rewards. And if you sign up for MAXREWARDS Gold, it automatically activates your card-linked offers, quarterly spend categories, and a whole lot more. You can get your first month free by using the link in the description. Now, the points and miles game is absolutely fantastic because it can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in all your travels almost every single year. But here's the thing, with so many different hotel programs and airline programs and bank programs, when you have 10,000 points in one versus 10,000 points in another, those 10,000 points are not equal to each other. In many cases, not even close. So if 1 point is not equal to 1 point, then what's the value of a point? It's a pretty big question, and a very big answer does follow. So I'm going to do my very best in this video to take that big answer and compact it down and make it very straightforward for you all. And we'll begin this entire episode by first setting the stage with the basic fundamentals. So I've already hinted at the first part here, but it helps to have a visual on the screen. First of all points are not equal. That is, one Chase point is not equal to one Amex point, and one Amex point is not equal to a Citi point, and the same holds true through all the hotel programs, for example with Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, etc. And also, miles are not equal either. So one American mile is not equal to a mile from United or Delta, JetBlue, Alaska, you name it. And while you can slice and dice all these different types of points into different buckets, I think it's very helpful to boil it all down to just two. First, we have bank points, and these usually have fixed values for cashback and travel portal bookings. And by bank points, I literally mean points issued by a bank and not by an airline, hotel, cruise line, etc. So a few examples that are very well known in the industry are Chase Ultimate Rewards points, Amex Membership Rewards points, Citi Thank You points, and US Bank Altitude points. Then in the second bucket, we have all the air miles and hotel points that usually have variable values at all times. A few examples of these are American Airlines Advantage miles, Delta Sky miles, Marriott Bonvoy points, and World of Hyatt points. So now that we've taken the entire points universe and boiled it down to those two buckets or categories, let's first begin with a little bit more detail about the bank points. While there are a lot of different bank point programs out there, I put three of the largest ones here on the screen. We have Amex Membership Rewards points, Chase Ultimate Rewards, and then Citi Thank You points. And then in the middle, I put the cashback value from each of these programs. American Express cards will give you 0.6 cents per point on all the cards that earn membership rewards points as a statement credit. Chase points will give you a full 1 cent per point on those cards that earn Ultimate Rewards points, also as a statement credit, and you can also deposit them to a checking or savings account as well. And then with Citi's Thank You points, you can either get a half of a cent or a full cent each per point, depending on the credit card that you have. Then over on the far right, we have the points value for travel when you do it through the actual bank portal on your online account. With Amex, you'll get 0.7 cents per point for hotels, car rentals, cruises, and vacations, and then a full 1 cent per point on flights. Chase's program will give you 1.25 cents per point if you have the Sapphire Preferred or the Ink Business Preferred cards, or 1.5 cents per point with the Sapphire Reserve. And then with Citi, you'll get 1 cent per point. So again, these are all fixed values. It does not matter how many points you redeem or which day of the week or the month you redeem them, you'll always get these flat rate values for your points when you're redeeming for cash back or for travel via the portals. Now let's move into air miles and hotel points, which can have values all over the place. Once again, the rewards that you earn when you take a flight or stay in a hotel somewhere typically are variable values, and they're pretty much that way all the time. The reason for this is because the number of miles of points required for a specific redemption can change. An example of that could be redeeming 50,000 points for a hotel in June or 60,000 points for the exact same hotel in September. And second, the cash price covered by those miles of points can also change. So for example here, if you have 50,000 points or miles, miles that might get you a hotel stay at a place that would cost $300 of cash, but then later in the year, that same hotel might cost $500 per night. Yet the number of points or miles you need could actually stay the same. Let's take a look at an example of what I'm talking about. Here's the JW Marriott Miami. When I did my search here, the cash price per night with all fees and taxes included was $262. The points rate for that same night was 30,000 Bonvoy points. So if I were to redeem points for that night instead of paying cash, I would be getting a value of 0.87 cents per point. I then searched for the same hotel at a different time during the year, and the cash price per night was $337, whereas the points rate was 35,000 points. In this scenario, if I were to redeem points, I would get 0.96 cents per point. And then I did a third search, again at the same property at a different point during the year, and this time the cash rate was $482 and the points rate was 40,000 points. If I were to redeem points to cover that night, I would be getting 1.2 cents per point. So this is a great example of how both the cash rate and the points rate can fluctuate at the same time. At other times, the cash rate may change, but the points may stay the same, or vice versa. The greater the cash rate you can cover with your points, obviously the greater value you get for your points. So if both the cash rates and the points rates can change all the time, then how do you actually calculate the value of your points? Well, fortunately, the formula is really simple. All you've got to do to calculate the value of your points or miles for any given trip is simply to take the cash price divided by the points or miles price, multiply that result by 100, and then you get your value per point. And we express that as cents per point. Also be aware that for the cash price, you'll also want to include taxes and fees if the points cover them. Otherwise, subtract them out. A very simple formula indeed, but of course it's very helpful to bring it all to life with a few on-screen examples. And we'll do 3 of them. First, we'll do a hotel, then a flight, and then a gift card. Example number 1 is our hotel example using IHG hotel points, and this will be for the Kimpton Seafire Resort and Spa over in Grand Cayman. I was looking for room availability in April, and I included all fees and taxes in the price, and the nightly rate was $1,597.89. It's a luxury resort, so yeah. However, if I wanted to cover that night in points, it would be 70,000 IHG points. So I took the cash price of $1,597.89, divided that by the 70,000 points, multiplied that by 100, and got 2.3 cents per point. Now let's take a look at example 2. This time I searched for a flight using Delta Sky Miles from JFK to FCO, in other words, New York to Rome, Italy. And this is a round trip itinerary. The cash price in the first class Delta One experience was $3,812, and the miles rate was 435,000 Delta Sky Miles. Now in this example here, if I were to redeem miles for that flight, I would also have to pay an additional $70, probably for fees and taxes of some sort. In other words, the miles do not cover all of the cash I would have to pay. So what I did here is I took the cash rate of $38.12, subtracted out the $70 that I would have to pay out of pocket, and then divided that by the 435,000 miles. I took that result, multiplied it by 100, and got 0.86 cents per mile. And our third example is for a gift card using Amex membership rewards points. Here I was redeeming for a $50 Target gift card. The cash equivalent value of the card is of course $50, and the points rate to get the card was 7,143 points. So I took 50, divided it by 7,143, multiplied by 100, and got 0.7 cents per point. So as you just saw, whether you have points of some sort or miles, and whether you're redeeming those for a hotel, a flight, a gift card, a cruise, whatever it happens to be, the actual formula still works. But now we have a huge question that we still have to answer. Once you have your value per point that you're getting for a given redemption, you need to know, is it a good value or a bad value, or somewhere in between? So in order to determine if you get a good value or a bad value for your points on any given redemption, what you want to do is compare your value versus the average value from the points guy. And this is literally what I use on virtually every trip that I take. So what you want to do is go to thepointsguy.com and scroll down to the section that's called What Are Points Worth? From there you can click on See All and then view a nice long expanded list of all the major bank, hotel and airline programs, and a few others as well. Most of these are average values that take into account the super crazy redemptions where you're getting a massive value per point, as well as the really poor redemptions where you're getting a really bad value for your points, and everything in between. Also, when you're viewing the values for the major bank programs that have transfer partner options like Chase, Amex, Citi, and Capital One, the average values that TPG gives here are including transfer partners as well, not the flat rates of like 1 cent or 1.5 cents. So for that reason, I want to call your attention to the note there at the bottom of the screen. TPG's average values are best used for comparing air miles, hotel points, and bank points when redeemed via transfer partners. Because remember, it's typically those air miles or hotel points that have the massive variable values. And once you have actual points in a bank program like Chase points or Amex points, and you transfer them out to an airline or a hotel program, you no longer have Chase points or Amex points. You now have currencies in a different program, and those programs typically have those variable or dynamic rates. We'll talk about transfer partners in another video, but for now, just realize that TPG's chart is a great way to compare the value you get for your Chase points or your Hilton points, for example, versus the industry average. In fact, now let's look at the examples that we covered earlier in this video and see if they were good, bad, or okay redemptions. This was our first example where we redeemed IHG points for a stay at the Kimpton Seafire Resort and Spa, and we got 2.3 cents per IHG point. Now, to determine if that was a good or bad value, let's actually go to TPG's website, scroll down to the IHG Rewards Club program, and we can see the average value is about 0.5 cents per point. So since we got 2.3 cents per point, which is almost 5 times the average value, this was a really good redemption. In fact, that may be one of the best IHG redemptions on planet Earth. For example, too, we had the round-trip flight from New York to Rome on Delta using Delta Sky Miles, where we got 0.86 cents per mile. Now, going over to TPG's website to see what the average value of a Delta Sky Mile is, it used to be about 1.2 cents, but more recently, because they do show the most recent 3 months, it's now dropped to about 1.1 cent. So since we got 0.86, that's less than the average value, therefore that would be considered a bad redemption. Then lastly, for example 3, we got 0.7 cents per point for our Target gift card redemption using Amex points. Going over the TPG site, we see that Amex points are worth an average of about 2 cents per point. Again, that is mostly using transfer partners, but nevertheless, it still shows you what you may be able to get with a travel type of redemption. So obviously, if we only got 0.7 cents, this is a bad redemption compared to travel at least, but you could also flip it around and call it a decent or good redemption if you compare it to cash back, which if you remember from the beginning of the video, Amex gives you 0.6 cents per point for cash back as a statement credit. So we got more than the cashback value. All right, so let's take all that newfound knowledge and pack it down into a simple 3-step approach. In summary, when you want to figure out what value you get for your points and if it's a good or bad redemption, you want to first do a cent per point calculation. Number 2, compare the result to TPG's average value. And then 3, determine if it's a good, average, or bad redemption. Then if the redemption is average to good, then consider doing it. In other words, redeeming your points for that hotel, flight, or whatever it is. But if the redemption is average to bad, then consider paying cash and saving your points or miles for a future redemption where you may be able to get a higher value and therefore save even more money. And although that's a great framework to abide by, I'll also say this here at the end. There are also situations where even if you're getting a bad value for your points or miles, you still may want to go through it anyway, simply because you don't want to pay cash or don't have the cash available. As much as I do love to get great value for my points and miles, I've gone on plenty of trips where I'm getting a poor value or close to an average value for my points, and I'm still totally okay with that because again, I'm going off to have a great experience, likely sharing it with other people, and I'm still keeping all my cash liquid for other purposes. Because last time I checked, you can't make an investment with Hilton points, and you also can't pay your bills with United miles. Maybe in the future, but not right now. And having said all that, if you enjoyed today's video and believe it could benefit others, then please help me get it in front of more people by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications. Also, be sure to check out the links down below in the description area to view some great credit card offers, to get some additional cash back when you shop online through Rakuten, and to sign up for MAXREWARDS, which is a fantastic app to manage all of your credit cards and rewards in one place. It also allows you to track your purchases across all cards and helps you identify which card to use to earn the most rewards. And if you sign up for Max Rewards Gold, it automatically activates your card-linked offers, quarterly spend categories, and a whole lot more. You can get your first month free by using the link in the description. I thank you all so much for tuning into today's video. I hope it brought you some great value and now showed you how to get good value out of your points and miles, so that way when you go on your next trip to make memories with family, friends, and loved ones, you can also save a ton of money in the process. I'll see you all again in future videos, and while you're waiting on that next upload, I want you to remember what that little sign in the background says. You are great.